recording. All right. I was going to just throw this out here and tell everybody to jump on.
Your shelves are starting to look like the store in the back, Jennifer.
Yeah, my husband just built me a couple more shelves, but I have a ton of vendor events coming up. So
Yeah, I figured you were them and the boutique.
yeah. In fact, it was nice because when I went down there today, she told me about 3 events coming up. And
Nice.
the one, well, both 2 of them are 2 days long. And I see Michelle looking at me like, and she said last year in 4 hours, she made $1,500. So
I'll be there in about 5 minutes.
I know. Donna's running to the car right now.
I'm on the way.
Yeah. That's not
Why do you always keep something in your car? Sorry, hon.
There it is. Okay.
I cannot see Jack tonight.
All right. I just put out another reminder.
I was gonna say, was that you that's stinging?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do this again. I keep getting. Okay. So do we want to start?
Yep.
Might as well.
So we're gonna Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia.
And I wish Julie could get on, but since I'm recording it, she can probably watch the recording because she was the one that actually asked for this. She wanted us to talk about how to boost sales. So we were talking among us, and I always feel like posting, getting into DMs and emails and things like that is how to do it. But Danielle brought up a good point that not everybody wants to work their business that way or can work their business that way. So that's when we decided that we were going to talk about the 4 ways we all do it. So who wants to start?
Well,
who are the 4? Me, you, Danya, Michelle, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say would probably you, Jennifer, because of the fact that that's kind of the way they consider themselves social selling. So that's the power. That's where you're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's social selling, which Jennifer will go over. There's in-home parties, which I'll go over. There's online parties, which I'm assuming Michelle's going to go over. Danya's going to go over. And then there's events, right? Which
I'm events.
Your events.
Oh, is the event queen.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know Danya does events too, but hers are online events.
Right.
So yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a lot of different ways that you can work your business. For me, I mean, the 12 points that Danielle had talked about, I work that every single day. And, we do talk about that all the time. And my absolute, I positively have to do it, I would say 95% of the time is, and actually I probably do this 100% of the time, is post. I post my stories. I post online. You want to make sure not everything you're posting is about pharmacy. You want to post about your life, about silly things. You can check with a chat GPT or whatever. And I like to say, okay, I need something that's going to get a lot of engagement. And then it will come up with posts for me. So like I did but this is true, that I want to put the Christmas decorations up this weekend. And my husband does not want to. And boy, that got a lot of comments. So just simple things like that, asking people, hey, what are your ideas on that? And stories. Get into people's stories. When you post something, even if it's not pharmacy, anybody that looks at your story, if they love it or whatever, get into their DMs and say, hey, thank you so much for looking at my stories. It helps my algorithm so much. And then if it's about pharmacy, I might say, I kind of break it up a lot of times. were you interested in what I was talking about? Or are you just scrolling or things like that? Just so you get in your DMs. Also, make sure that Brittany stresses all the time birthdays. That's the easiest way to get into DMs. And what I do every day is I go out and I post on their page, but I also get into their DM, tell them happy birthday, and say,
Evelyn's trying to
yeah,
get
I say
into
that. But on their birthday, then I'll say something like, do you have any big plans for your birthday? I don't know why she can't get in because everybody else is in.
Yeah, we don't have an end, like you don't have to be.
Maybe she
Now,
needs.
normally I don't have,
Maybe she needs the password.
I gave it.
yeah,
Maybe
because
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I put
I
it
had to
in
put it
there.
in today, and normally
Me
I
too.
don't.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know how I
Oh,
get my
well.
camera to work
don't know how to what?
on my phone.
You don't know how to do what?
How to get my camera to work on my phone.
So over there where you have your mute button, there should be a stop video. Is that not there, Michelle?
Not on my phone.
For Zoom, it's not there?
Do you have an iPhone?
No.
Okay.
Do you have an option to hit more at the bottom?
Hey, Mariska.
No, I just have like the little white body and it says my name. I'm sorry. I changed my phone.
It should be in your Zoom app where you see your not person. You should be able to tap below it, and the mute, the stop video, the audio, participation, chat, reactions. There you go.
There
Now
she
unmute.
is.
There you go.
There I am.
Yay.
There she is.
I'm leaving
Continue on, I'm
mine
sorry.
on because I'm in the dark. My husband
Okay.
is having me do stupid things.
You know, now you have us really curious, especially after your message earlier, but
Right.
Here, I'll show you. Let me see.
That's another Zoom.
This is my view. We decided to
Oh,
take
okay.
that board that doesn't work and drive it, and then it died. My friend.
That's funny. Okay, so I'll go back to, so birthdays, every day, get into their private message, happy birthday, and I always say, do you have any big plans? I used to do, because Brittany always says to do what's your favorite memory of the year, and I didn't get many responses, but if I just say, do you have any big plans for the day? They always tell me. So, and then you can start a conversation. The more they're in your DMs, the more they're going to see your stuff. You're going to see their stuff. So that helps too. Asks. Now, I have a huge email list that I had from Color Street. I had exported it a long time ago. Anytime I get a new customer, I add it into my Gmail, because that's where I keep my customer list or my emails, obviously, in Gmail. I've got them under a group, and I email 2 to 3 times a week. Then when there's big things going on, like the $6 join, I did not private message today. Yesterday I did. I actually will private message people who I've been talking to, just to get into their DMs. But then if they're not on Facebook and they don't get into Facebook much, then I'm in email or text messaging, because not everybody checks their Facebook. Like I have a customer who she bought 6 boxes of L-carnitine last week. Yes, she did. She and her husband love it. And she doesn't check Facebook. So I have to text her. So you just want to communicate with them however you can. And then follow up with people. Every day go in and try to make a new connection with someone, which Danielle had that idea about joining groups, where I joined a bunch of swim groups and fitness groups. And I put out a post today.
Not my idea. That actually is pulled from Ray Higdon, which is also pulled from multiple like gurus in the industry. I did not come up with that.
Well, I just had, because actually I was kind of curious. I had asked ChatGPT how does swimming compare to running? And it gave me this whole saying basically that swimming, I can't remember what it was, swimming like 2 kilometers is equal to 5 to 7 kilometers running. So I thought, my groups are going to love this. It's blowing up out there. Everybody is like, oh my God, this is great. This is great. So it's just kind of things like that. And then they're going to start seeing my regular posts because my group is, or my page is open. And I do request a lot of new people to be my friend. I'm starting, maybe you guys too, I'm starting to have a problem where sometimes I don't know who's pharmacy and who isn't. So I try to get out there to look to see if it is before, you know, especially if they see my stories and stuff. But then a lot of times they'll just say, oh, I'm a pharmacy influencer. So I'm having a really hard time with that because I get a lot of requests from other people too, who are mostly pharmacy influencers. So that's kind of a dilemma. And then
Good problem to have, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And samples, I give out samples all the time. I always have. Actually, for Halloween, what I did, I made up little treat bags for my friends down at McDonald's, and I put in a coffee sample, a tea sample, a sample of the pistachio macaron body butter, and then some candy, and you know, thanked them because they get yelled at a lot. So
Plus,
yeah.
they hook you up with your Diet Coke.
They do. They know who I am. As soon as I get there, oh, hi, Jennifer. Do you want your Diet Coke? Yeah.
But giving little bags like that away, I think is awesome as a thank you gift. It gets like your name and everything out there. I would say that if you're using samples though for your business, make sure that whenever you give them out as a sample, not as a thank you thing like what she was talking about, but when you're actually using it like to build your business from a sample, think about it this way. You give them a sample, they give you your contact information. Okay, so get that phone number from them because that's what you're paying for when you buy a sample. When you buy a sample to hand out, think about it that way. You want to try to build your phone number or email list as much as you can. That is the gold within like the industry is the number of customer or prospective customers that you have. So that list and use samples to build that.
Yeah, I make my own samples. I mean, you know, with the pistachio, I use the little clear jars and put that in there. I label them and then I put them in a little plastic bag with a sticker on it and one of my business cards too. So, but I see these people all the time anyway. But anyway, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is being consistent because you can't post one day and then skip 3 days and then post again and expect everybody to know what's going on. It was funny because I did the ghost one today.
Which was so cute.
Well, I was driving down 471, one of our highways today, and I saw a thing. It was a fitness thing, and it was somebody working out in a machine with a ghost on, and it said, don't ghost your goals. And I thought, I got to go do that. So then my husband's like, were you running around with a sheet and acting like a ghost today and put that on Facebook? Yes, that's what happens when you leave me home alone. So, but yeah, I just think consistency too. And I think with anything you do, it's consistency. Yeah. So, and I'm happy to help anybody. And that's why I like doing these videos because I think we're getting some attention on them.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they're fun too, I think. Yeah. So, all right, who's next?
I can talk about home parties next.
Yeah, we want to know how to get them.
Yeah, how to get them. You're gonna hate me when I say this, but you'll know what I'm gonna say, right, Jennifer?
I know.
You just got to ask, right? So what is it? Let's talk about the home party first. One thing I noticed with home parties, the excitement. People love freaking home parties, even though it's like an out of date, like people in the industry talk about it's out of date and I get it. I used to be for 12
Not the
years.
trend.
Right. I used to be for 12 years in a company that required me to do parties, right? And it made like out of my home parties, and it was very difficult for me to grow really quick because of their compensation plan. Well, with this company, oh my gosh, we only need $125 in personal volume, right? So what I notice is when I do a party, I have the hostess. I'll talk about how to get the parties in a minute, but let's just talk about the party in general and why I'm so about them now. Because when you do one party, if you have the hostess invite 10 people, at most 15, okay? At most. I tell them to invite about 10 people because then you're going to get 5 to 7 that actually come. So if they invite 10 to 15, you're going to get 5 to 7 people. The sweet spot, honestly, for me, when I'm doing a makeup party is 5. Anything more than that, it can get pretty chaotic. Okay. So when you get 5 to 7 people, I'm normally getting about 4 people that are doing the 125 to get their half off. They're loving that. Like everybody wants half off. So they're signing on, getting their half off, and that's most of them are going to 125. And then there's some other smaller orders, like $50 orders in there. But let's see, only 4 of them do that. You're at $500 PV right there. One party. You've worked one time in the whole month. You've worked one night for like a 3-hour party. And to me, that has been so relieving because sometimes social media for me can be very overwhelming. So what I've found is that I love to be able just to work for a weekend, do 1 to 2 parties and know that I'm like done. I'm like done for the month other than, being here for team things and stuff like that. So if you do 2 to 4 parties a month, you're talking about you're talking like $1,000 in PV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's amazing. And you're talking having brought on, that's like more than 10 customers in 1 month. That's what you want your business to do. So for me, home parties, the excitement is there. People love it. They want that 50% off. You're getting a chance to share your excitement, share the things that you love about pharmacy. And for me, it's been a game changer. I love it. So now getting the parties, I like to think about it this way. Once you get your first 4 parties, let's say you were a total go-getter and you wanted to do 1 per weekend. Okay, let's say 4 parties in 1 month. What happens is when you're at that party, you can offer a free gift. I bring a basket of free product and I offer a free gift for anybody that books a party off of that party. So if you have 4 parties in 1 month and you book a party off of each one of those, you're done for your next month. If you're doing 4 parties that next month. Now, let's say you only want to do 2 parties a month. What happens? You could book 2 parties off of this one and 2 parties off of this one, and you are now booked for the next 2 months. So it's really helpful to be strategic on how you do your parties so that you book a party off of a party. You never will have to call people and ask them to do parties again if you do this. It just will cycle and you'll continue to have parties every single month. So it's something that it's relieved me from any of that stress of feeling like I got to pick up the phone, I got to message people, I got to ask for something, right? So just at the beginning, I booked 4 parties and I'm able to just keep booking parties off of that. So.
But when you first started, what did you say to people?
I said, Dina, this was my sister, right? You can get people very close to you to do your first 4 parties. So I just said, Dina, I gotta show you the new makeup. Let's get a few of your friends together and I'm gonna bring it over, okay? And she said, okay. It wasn't like, it's not this big, huge script. Like the only thing that I would suggest is if they're somebody you don't know very well, then you want to make sure you have some touch points with them prior to being like, hey, want to do a party for me? Right? Because it's not for you, right? It's you bring value to them. You want to show them the product because we love the product and we know the product is amazing and it has, follows EU standards. We know this stuff is healthier than the crap that they're getting out there in CVS. And we know that the price point is better than a lot of the things out in CVS. Like, no joke, our lip liner is cheaper than the majority of lip liners at CVS. Like,
Wow.
that is mind blowing. So once we get that and we truly come from a place of giving them value, it's not you asking them for something. It's you saying, let's have a good time, have some friends over, and let me show you this makeup stuff because I love it. Or let me show you this nutrition stuff because I love it. Like, whatever your jam is, just get excited about it and tell people you want to show it to them. Hey, I want to bring over some of the shakes. Hey, I want to bring over this aloe stuff. And you then have a nutrition party. And really, it's just you going there, sharing the product, talking about it, and being excited about what you're using. And the makeup parties, I will say you have more stuff to get. So if that's not your jam and the nutrition's way easier to sell, just to be honest. Well, the makeup sells really well, but I had to invest a little bit of money, right, into like sponges, mirrors, that kind of stuff, you know, Q-tips, in order to get up and running with makeup parties. You have to make sure you have a spray bottle so you can disinfect stuff. You want to make sure people don't put their hand in things. So there's a little bit more that goes into makeup stuff. I'm more than happy to like talk through a makeup party at another call if we want. But that we have so many other products. You could do like just a couple pieces of the makeup, not do like a whole makeup party. Then you could do a little bit of nutrition, and then you could do like hair care if that's your jam. And you just talk about it, tell them about pharmacy, and then they get to play with the product and eat some things. And it's just a night to get together and have some fun learning about pharmacy.
Now, when you do it, do you take the food and stuff, or do you have
No.
your host? Okay.
The host, yeah, the host does that.
You know, the beginning of the year might be a really good time to try nutrition ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would even do it before, because you tell them you want them to make sure that they have their product for the beginning of the year when things really get going. So you could start this in November, go in and doing nutrition parties, you know, saying you'll get your stuff, have the holidays, but we're going to start off strong. So I want you to have your stuff before then and really get a chance to settle into what we're getting ready to do at the beginning of the year. So don't feel like you got to wait. You don't got to wait. You just, you know, just
I've been trying to.
Sorry.
What happened?
My sister's signing up, so sorry.
Hey,
Congratulations.
oh, that's awesome.
That is definitely a cheer yell moment.
It is.
Mhm.
I've been trying to focus on a lot of my posts, concentrating on, hey, it's almost the holidays. You're going to gain weight. So start, that was kind of my post today. And the past couple days, my posts have been, it's almost the holidays.
Yeah.
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 And
So,
we are learning, those of us that have come from other companies, we're used to J months being dead, slow, or that's the thing that's said. January and February are booming for the wellness companies.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
we don't have a sleigh month like that now.
Yeah.
Danielle, question. When you do those in-homes, how do you go about ordering? Like, does everyone just get on their phones and order?
I do it. I meet with everybody separately at the end of the party and say, okay, what did you love? What do you want to try? And then I literally input it into the computer right in front of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And it gives me a chance to get to know some people have facial issues or, I always talk about skincare at the makeup parties. I'm adamant about making sure you have a good surface and blah, blah, blah. And, I think people really like that individual attention. It does make the party go a little longer, but I mean, people aren't like, this takes too long, I'm walking out. Like, it doesn't take that long. It's like it's like only an hour for the party. And then I'm like, we're hanging out for maybe an hour, wrapping everything up and doing everything. And people are talking and looking in catalogs, and some of them are on the phone looking at things, eating, drinking, so it just depends. I've had some parties that people were drinking, they had wine and stuff like that, and other ones where people had to leave early. And, each one's different. You're going to have some that, you feel like our duds. I've had parties where nobody's ordered, not with pharmacy yet, but I have with my previous company, Arbonne. I had parties with 0, but then I had a party with 1,000, right? My biggest party was like 1,200 when I was with Arbonne. So it really is, it's the point is like Jennifer said, being consistent. It's the same thing. It's all about being consistent. Do your 2 parties or 4 parties, whatever you want to commit to. Do them every single month. And then over the months, just try to get better and better and tweak things little by little. And I mean, if you're bringing on even 4 customers a month,
Yeah.
10 is amazing. So, I mean, your business will explode. It will explode if you consistently did 4 outside parties a month.
Now, also going back to how you say, you do the order, you place the order for them. I do that too. When I message people and they're like, oh yeah, I'm interested in this, this, and this, I get that order from them. I place it through our website at our price and I charge them full price.
Oh yeah, I don't do that. I
got their
want them to have an
information.
account. I want them to have an account so it's in
Yeah.
the customer relation management system.
Yeah. Well, it is because I put it in there.
How do you put their name and the things they ordered in there? What do you mean?
You go under, I don't have my glasses on here. You just order, and then when you go to check out, you can add a new person.
Oh,
And
you mean just
put
keep their
all,
address? Yeah.
yeah, you put all their
Yeah.
information in there.
So what I like to do and why I like to do it is I put everything is theirs. I create an account for them and everything because before they leave, I am making sure they put our app on their phone. So when they're sitting there watching TV, they can
That's
scroll and
smart.
look at all the other amazing stuff we have. They're already logged into their own account, and I don't have to be there next time they want to order.
Yeah,
If
that's
I'm
smart.
there and if I am available, fine. If I'm reaching out or sending an email or sending a message, fine. But I want them to be able to order even if I'm on vacation in California. I travel a lot. So I don't want me to be the barrier between them getting more product, right?
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't mind that because then I know they're ordering. Because you know how they always say, I'll do it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Let me challenge you to put yourself in Brittany Mecky's shoes. If you want to grow your business as big as Brittany Mecky's, do you think that she would be capable of doing that?
I don't know how many customers she has. She probably has more. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah. But she probably has more recruits that she has to deal with than customers. I would assume. Maybe. I don't
Got
know.
a lot of customers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some of that is us not wanting to relinquish control.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Some of us are
I
control
want to
freaks.
chime in for a second.
Hey, Mariska.
Somebody,
What's up?
hey,
Yeah, I wanna
somebody
make
said
sure
the
it's
one
done.
day that in pharmacy specifically, because it's such a great compensation plan and it's the best plan for our customers, like somebody was complaining they don't have many customers. And so I was like, you have to think about it. It's better for a customer to sign up and get the discount than it is to get, be a customer. Yes, we lose out on the 50%, but you're gaining somebody that could possibly like grow more.
They're gonna grow more, yeah. Or
Your
even
hope
small
is
in the
not
future.
exactly, or your hope is not to have too many customers. Your hope is to have them all as
Well,
influencers.
keep going and getting more customers, right?
Right.
Keep going and
Exactly.
getting more customers. That's our job. That's our job, is to just continuously get customers.
True.
All right. Good info, Danielle.
Yes. So I think I have one more thing, but I can talk about it at the end. It's like if somebody's asking for a boost in their sales, like a one-time boost in their sales, it's like a trick. But we can talk about that after we go through the 4 different ways to boost sales.
Okay.
Next.
You want to go, Danya? You want me
Yeah,
to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
For me, like Michelle works with in-person events, and my bread and butter are online events. I do Sorry, my mom's texting me. I do parties and I do vendor events. Now, most of what I do is vendor events. And before pharmacy, I did like one a month. And well, before that, I did like 4 a month. And I found which ones worked, which ones didn't work. It's there's a lot of online vendor events. Some of them are taking your money and you're posting and there's no activity in the group. I have found that ones that are 30 days long, you're wasting your money. The sweet spot is 3 days. So if you get a 5-day event or whatever, unless they're an extremely good vendor host, 3 days is perfect. Now I do 4 or 5 a month. I do these, and a lot of times I don't get any sales, but my contact list grows every single time. So they're asking me questions. I'm in DMs a lot because of the vendor events, because they're asking questions. They want to know about the products. And matter of fact, I was telling Jennifer the other day, I said, I just don't know that I'm going to do anymore. I'm getting the list but I'm not getting any sales. And the next thing I know, a lady, just jumps in with a $200 sale. So I'm like, okay, never mind. I'll keep going. But the thing about the vendor events, they're similar to your parties. You have to, like, when I do a party, I break it up into 6 days and I try to do a category a day, like hair care one day, makeup another day, nutrition another day. I try to keep it like that. And then on the last day where I have, just like we do our team parties, basically, but I do it over where I can post several things in that day, activities, giveaways. With the vendor events, usually you get 3 posts. So each day, or 3 posts and a freebie. I pick, like if I do hair care, my first post is going to talk about all the hair care lines. And then my next 2 posts are going to be spotlights about the hair care. And then my freebie post, I may throw out a deal, it's a night owl. I'll throw out like order tonight by midnight and order through me, and you'll get 20% off. That gets me the same, like Danielle was saying, that gets me their information. Now, when I do that, I do order through my own self instead of with their own account so that I can give them that 20% off. But outside of that, I help them set up a customer account and let them order what they want. Now, when I'm doing a vendor event, I don't set up our hot lists because then they only go in and they grab those things and they don't look around. But when I let them look around and I tell them, hey, if you go here, and you go here, that's how you get to it. Then sometimes they'll get sidetracked in the makeup, or I want to see this too. And they'll add to their cart, continues to grow. But the vendor events for me has been most successful because of the fact that we were always on the road. So I worked the events from the truck seat. So that was very helpful. I could also schedule the posts. I didn't have to be there the whole time. So you get the rights, you schedule the post, and you make sure you interact with them. You interact on other people's posts. You don't just say, oh, that's cool, when they say, well, that looks like a neat idea. And I reply, yes, it's a neat idea because, and then I throw something out there. Or if they make a comment, I come back with a question. So I make sure that we're interacting, but also I'm what's on their mind as they're scrolling through the rest of the event. And that's how I attract the people that sign up for the discount or go shopping. I mean, it's time consuming, and it's not hard, but it is time consuming. But it's worth it for me to I don't know, to
I'm in
get the
one right
information
now with Jamie, and it started last night, and I've already gotten 2 orders.
Yay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, the one I'm in, I'm also in one with Jamie.
I
And my
like her.
first, oh, I do too.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The group I'm in for the first time, most of my first post was, tell me how familiar you are with pharmacy. And most of the time it's, oh, I've ordered 1 or 3 items, but I'd say out of 20 comments, 15 of them is I've never heard of pharmacy. So that right there I am writing down names. I know who I need to talk to. I know who after the event, if they don't come anything, because it's against the rules to get in the DMs with them during the event because it's considered harassing when they're just looking. But I get permission from them and I'll start talking about the products afterwards and getting through them that way. Getting on their pages and start commenting, friend request them, and just start commenting on their posts once I've told them what pharmacy is and that they show some type of interest. I don't know what else. I mean, it's really truly it's like the online parties in a condensed manner. You're doing it in the 3 days. I find that it's easier to pick certain products that are our best sellers. Like I will talk about the L-carnitine, or I always talk about the Aloe Glow. I always talk about the calendula line. I always talk about the reviving line. And then if we're having a sale, I put out items that are on sale and I mention it in the posts. Those posts will be about those sale items. But
Question,
I mean,
that's not what we're talking about. Where can I find my my sponsor like code number?
You
Are you
go under,
over the computer?
I'm on my laptop.
Okay, go to, let's see. If you go to profile, it should be right up top. It's like a 6 or 7 digit number.
My account number?
Yeah, they're the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ladies.
okay, that does it for me unless somebody's got a question.
Can
do
I
you
add?
find that you have a hard time? I mean, because I've only done a few of them, but I like have a hard time narrowing it down. So I put a lot of my stuff in boards, but I try to tweak it. So you do like skincare one day, makeup one day, and then nutrition one day.
When it's narrowed down to the 3-day events, I don't. I try to get like I'll do makeup and then I'll do 2 of the posts makeup and 1 post men's. And then the next day I'll do 2 of the posts skincare and 1 of the posts will be fragrances or self-care or toothpaste or something like that, so that I can get something in there that shows them the categories, but also shows them we have that self-care line and those seasonal items.
Yeah, that's what I started doing yesterday too, kind of.
Yeah, it's too hard to try to they get bored too easy if you do. We do skincare, we do hair care. If you do those posts like that, they get bored, they just scroll on past. But if you pick a post, if you pick an item, and I usually do something, I try to focus on something that's on sale at the moment again. But if you focus on the items that are our best sellers and you just do 1 product, and the ones that do the best for me are the ones that I post my own picture. Here's my results. Here's my bald head. Here's my not bald head. Here's my face before I started using age reverses. Here's my face after. Here's me having hives. Here's me 8 hours later. Those are the posts, just like yours with your arms, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Those are the things that do well for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got like L-carnitine, obviously, that's my number 1. Flaunt It, I'm going to put up. And then I figure if they like it, maybe they'll, want more info. So
now with the flaunt, if I do a post that it's not me, like when I do the Flaunt It or the L-carnitine and I show you, I tell them, this is my friend. This is the person I know. This is the person that I have laid my hands on. And this is her results. This is not somebody, hey, I see you through the internet every so often. This is somebody that I can physically hug and these are her results.
Right.
And that
That's what
does
I do
good too.
too.
I sold 2 flan at last event because of that.
Yeah, I always put Melissa's up there too, and I say this is Melissa, but you know, I know
Yep.
her, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, what were you saying, Danielle?
Oh, I was just going to add that the online vendor events that you were doing, we can extend on that and even say that like the parties that we do can be converted to
Yes.
online parties. And that's actually how I grew really quick with Color Street, was because I was legit doing like 12 to 14 online parties a month. And I had a system and it was awesome. And you can absolutely do that with pharmacy also. And it's easy to do online parties. Like it's literally just posting, talking to people, like, and you build a massive network very quickly. So if you are selling online, that's an option too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Michelle.
It's your turn.
Okay. All right. So I do a ton of vendor events. I try to do one a week, one every weekend. Sometimes I do a Friday, Saturday. Sometimes I have a Saturday, Sunday. And those are very rare because I don't have a day to recover because I have a full-time job too. But
Darn daytime
where-
jobs.
I know, I hate them, but they do pay the bills.
They do.
Where do I find my events at? So I find them, a lot of them through Facebook groups. Now you have to be very cautious when going through these groups because there are scammers out there who love to take your money. So
Yep.
what I do is when I find one that I'm interested in that has a date that I'm open, I screenshot the information, I screenshot the flyer, and then when that place is open for business, I call them to verify that they have an event and that this person is the coordinator. So you do that before you ever send any money. I make connections with other vendors when I'm at my vendor events. So I go around with my lives and, I talk to them, and because you see the same people, you're kind of a clique. You see the same people at each event multiple times throughout the season. And so they'll tell you, oh, are you at this event? No, I don't have that date scheduled. Well, you should contact them, see if you can get in. So I've made really good connections with other vendors at my events. I also, at the end of my season, when Christmas rolls around, and I'm done, I send out an email in January to all of my vendors that I've had throughout that year. And I say, thank you for allowing me to be part of your event. It was great. Even if I had no sales, but I want to go back because maybe, I got good connections or something from it. I always send them an email and say, thank you for letting me be a part of that. I hope that you keep me in mind for next year, because I want them to email me and say, hey, here's the date you want in. And so because I want to be the first one in. So I do that. You can also look on community boards, church websites. One of my vendor connections, he told me, which I didn't think about, but he said the best place to find events, the most well-attended events, are going to be your Catholic churches, because they are their congregation, everybody comes. Everybody's coming in, and I don't know if it's a requirement in the Catholic Church, but he was like,
No, it's not. Everyone's just really supportive.
he's like, they're the best turnout. So I try to pass that along to other new vendors when I meet them too. So church websites, school district calendars, and I also, and this really isn't, an event, but Jennifer asked me to bring this to the group too, but I work with a lot of men who don't want to go shopping. So I made these bundles for them. And so now I've got the the almond shea butter, and I'll put the cherry in this as well. And I sell that to them for $45, and they're happy as bugs and rugs. I do take my little sample thing that I have of each fragrance, and I stick that under their nose for them to smell, so they can tell me which fragrance they would like for their other half to smell like. And I bring it to them, and they throw cash at me, which you can't beat somebody throwing cash at you. So that's another good way to get quick sales and really easy because we're going to work Monday through Friday and they're there. So the next thing was what do I take to my vendor event? So I do have notes. So I'm going to read off of my notes. I take product, all the product that I have, because this company gives us so much free product. Why not showcase it? And it kind of fills up your table and it makes you look full. If you don't have the product, that's fine too. Take whatever you have that you are using on the daily, whether it's makeup, it's nutrition, or whatever, toothpaste, hair shampoo, whatever you're using on the daily take, and you can say to them, I use this. I have this on right now. I've had this makeup on since 5 o'clock this morning. Don't look how it wears. And so that kind of drills it home to people that you're using the products and this is what it looks like on you, and you're kind of like a walking billboard for it. To get contact information, I put a raffle bag together. Let me flip this around and maybe I can show you. Okay, so here's my raffle bag. Here's my raffle sheets.
Okay.
I get information on things that they might want to do, what they might be interested in. I'm just going to go here for your displays. Always go up. And Sylvia has this corner. Her husband made her nice little show. So mine's not as nice as hers because this box is kind of warm because I've taken this box to many events. But
that's a great idea, though. The box idea. I love that.
Yeah, I love the box idea.
Right. And I stack 2 of them up sometimes. Now, these little bottles here, a lot of this stuff is empty because I say to them,
Yeah.
I've used this. This is, see how that one just fell off the table. These are empty, but they go inside of other things. And so when you go to box it all back up, it's very compact. And so, but building it up gives you dimension. It takes this little space and goes this way instead of going this way with it. I just redid all of my signs. Now, let me go back to the table thing here. This black here is a sheet. This is a twin size sheet from Walmart. I think it was $5. A twin size is 8 foot in length. And so if your table is less than 8 foot, you can use this, and it'll drape down the front, and on the back you'll be able to put your stuff underneath it and no one knows any different. But it works really good on my 6 foot tables because that's what I have, because I got a little on the edges as well. This here is a cloth napkin, which I got on sale. It looks just like this. They come normally as a set of 4 because they're for your dinner table. And I think I got them on sale after the holiday a couple years ago. So I just use this to cover up and give it some color. This stuff here was from Dollar Tree, Dollar-ish Tree, because nothing in there is $1. So this was from the Dollar-ish Tree. I think they're 2 strands for like $1.25. But always have something. I had to use my cup because my other thing is in the car still packed. I don't unpack my car typically, but you want something to put your raffle tickets in. Now, what I do is when I say to someone when we're talking and she fills out this form before I dump it in there, and before she walks away, I say to her, oh, I'm sorry, what was your name again? And she tells me her name. So Susie, it was so nice meeting you. Thank you for stopping by my booth. And hopefully we'll be in touch. Now I know Susie. So I know I write Susie's name down. I write down what we talked about. And that way, when I go to pull her ticket out, I remember, if she's my winner, I remember what we talked about. And I can say, congratulations. I hope that, your daughter had a good time with, whatever she was doing. And I'm so glad you said, so it makes her feel like you really remembered. Because I can't remember. So I have to write this down. There's no shame in our game. Write it down if you can't remember. They don't know. I've reached in my bucket before and taken it back out and wrote it on the back of there and put their name back in the bucket before. So, so the other things that I use on my table, this is my silk Vera Bradley scarf, but it's very colorful and it looks really good if you drape it across, especially with a black tablecloth. And I can wear that to the event and use it as decoration as well. I've also taken this kind of stuff, which is silky, silvery material, because it was the end of the bolt. And I think I got it for $2. And this is a really big, I think it's almost like a half a yard. But a half a yard goes a really long way when you're making a display. I did take ideas from Jennifer Anderson, which I shared that video this morning or this afternoon on our website about my signage. So I've redone all of my signs. I have all the same frame, I have all the same colors, and I have all the same font and all of these here because I want them to stand out so that it's kind of like branded. So when you go into Target, Target has a little red dot on things, and that's what you're looking for, the signage. I kind of wanted that to be what they're looking for as well. I was very proud of myself for these signs. So I'm going to highlight the signs, girls, because I'm very proud of all of these signs. I was proud that I knew how to do Canva. Thank you, Jennifer, for it. You also want to make sure that you have a QR code so they can join your VIP group. And again, this is in the same kind of modern kind of simple frame. And then the one that I just got this today. This is how they're going to pay. So you always want to make sure that.
Hold on, you went out.
There, hey, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So here's my frame on how are they going to pay me. So I just made this up and I said thank you. I put my QR codes on there and just put my name on there. Just the only thing I can suggest to you, make sure your QR codes are working. That is, my PayPal one's not working. So I don't know.
What are your forms of payment on that?
I'll take anything that goes through the bank, but I just put PayPal and Venmo on there. I mean, I'll take Cash App, but Cash App really isn't that popular.
It's going through too many lawsuits right now,
Yeah.
being hacked. And do you use Zelle as well?
I can use Zelle. I use that through my bank, and but then I take Square. I do Square on my phone too. But a lot of times, if I'm not busy, I'll just pull the code up on my phone and let them scan that. So. Let me see if I had any other notes. I think the biggest thing that I took away from, also when they come up to your booth, because this was something, why does it, I don't know why it keeps blurring, going away. Another thing Jennifer had said was that don't say to them, have you ever heard of pharmacy? Because they go, no, and they just move on. So we say to them, what was it? Have you ever heard of pharmacy? Or no, how would you say? Oh, what do you know about pharmacy? That was the term. What do you know about pharmacy? And when they say, well, I've not really heard it, well, then you start, into your spiel. And again, don't word vomit. That's what I do. I word vomit about a lot of things. But just kind of give them the basics, and that way they can ask you questions. It creates a dialogue as opposed to them. It's an open-ended question as opposed to a closed-ended question.
And Michelle, how long have you been doing these events?
Probably 3 years.
Oh, wow. So that's one thing I want to remind everybody that's rewatching this video, or people that are just starting out at vendor events. You don't have to have everything perfect, like right from the get-go. Like Michelle said, she just got matching frames. She just started to make sure all her font was the same, and it's taken her 3 years to get here. So just want to throw that out there. It's better to get out there and do it messy than to not do it and wait until you have everything in order. So just something I wanted to add.
And I think that when you do vendor events, that you walk around, you see other people's, I go to vendor events when I don't have one, because I want to see what other people are doing for displays. Now, I'm weird, but that wouldn't be the first time somebody's told me that. But I like to go to see what they're doing. And that's when, I'm like, I got to go up. I've got to move up. Instead of spreading out, I need to move up and fill that space and make it look like a wall of product instead of nothing, or the back of somebody else's display. So, yeah, that's all. I think that's all. Anybody have any questions about what I do?
Sylvia, do you have anything to add? Because you are also a vendor queen.
Sylvia does do a lot of vendor events.
I have 11 in November.
Yeah. Who's gonna cook the turkey?
How
Oh,
did
you're
we
in Canada.
manage
Maybe you don't
that?
cook turkey.
You're in Canada. It's turkey. The
Yeah.
turkey
Yeah.
season has
We've
passed.
already done Turkey Day.
Yeah.
Do I have anything to add? No, I 100% agree with the going up, because your display just looks so much cleaner and more professional. I don't do a lot of decor on mine just because I am cheap and don't want to buy stuff, but I do have really cute Christmas tablecloths that I bought about 3 years ago, and they have red and white checkered reindeer on them, and everybody comes to my table just to see my tablecloths. So
That's a good idea. Attraction by being different like that.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
So my question is for both of you actually, because the reason I haven't pulled the trigger or whatever you want to say on vendor events is because I can't tell who's for real and who's a scammer. I almost got scammed once, and then one time I thought it was a scammer and it was actually a legit person. So I was like, no, I don't know enough. How do you know? How do you know? And how do you know how much to pay is a good price?
Well, I
set
basically go
my
with
budget.
the same companies.
Right.
I have one company that does about 8 events a year, and I do every one of theirs. I have another girl who does 3 a year. I do all of hers. I have another girl who does 3 a year. I cycle the same ones. I've tried different ones, and I'll do 1, 2 at max. If they're not good, I never even approach them again.
Right.
Are they
I
recycled
Find them
groups?
first. I think what Michelle said is find them through a reputable source. Start with a church or with a chamber of commerce, that type of thing, where you know it's going to be reputable.
Okay.
And then when you find the ad, then you call the Chamber of Commerce and say, "Hey, I saw this ad for this event.
Yeah.
Is it a real event?" And they'll say, "Nope." And you'll be like, "Okay, well, someone's trying to scam," and they'll want you to send that information to them. That's why I screenshot the things, because I can't remember where I see this stuff from sometimes. And so they'll want you to send that to them so they can try to cut down on the scammer. But yeah, you do repeat stuff. If it's not a good event for you, I give my people 2 tries and they're out. Because the first one might be a fluke. The second one, I'm not coming back for a third time. But I typically don't do any vendor event over $50. And I'm cheap, but that's my top tier.
Do you think that it might just be that your vendor events are cheap? Because we have a vendor event in November. It's at a really cool little play place right across the street from my house. There's not going to be many people, but she's charging $80 per person. And I was like, what, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
But that's Naples. I mean, I paid for other events before. I paid like $150.
And did they do good?
I made my money back and a little bit of profit, but not huge profit. But then I must also add, I am not very good at sales.
See, when I did it with Color Street, I was like, I got to sell the buy 3 get 1 free to cut break even. I find one person to do that buy 3 get 1 free, and I always felt if I could find more than one person to buy that special, then I was making money. And I think that's where I set my goal at $50. Now sometimes I'll go 60, depends on if I need electric, because sometimes that they'll charge you for electric. And that was another thing too. I don't know if Sylvia does it or not, but if they offer free electric, I'll tell them I need electric because I want to be on the outside skirt, so I'm not in the middle with all of this. I like to be on the outside edges.
That's smart.
I
Very
always get
smart.
an end spot or a corner spot, always at every market.
And, you know, and that's,
I've always been the corner.
that's another thing too, is that you want to set your tables up so that you're bringing people in, not letting them walk by. You want to bring them in so you can squirt them with your hand lotion, you know, or talk to them.
One thing I will say though is I still, my firm belief is that for me doing markets isn't I mean, obviously it's about sales, but it's about contacts.
Mhm.
So I think if you get a couple of really good contacts out of a market, even if your sales aren't great, that can still potentially be more than any sales you could get.
And I think that's the difference. And I've talked to Jennifer about this. That's the difference between taking this product to a vendor event and taking the Color Street. Is that Color Street was, you know, they walk out with something. This, you have to educate them. You have to say, this is what it is, and this is what it does. And here, let me get your name and enter to my drawing, and I'll send you information. And that way you can keep following up, because you've got to educate these people on this. And it's not something you can do right then in your vendor booth.
No.
It takes more time. And so that goes back to, you know, maybe you take those raffle tickets and you book your home parties, or you turn all of that into that.
Yeah, because those are local people. That's a really good point, Michelle. You could definitely book parties off of that. And when you're in home parties, you are educating them. Like that's what you get to do, is that education spiel. And I think that's why so many people order at the home parties, because we're able to educate them and they can try things.
And I'm finding, and I'm sure Sylvia's the same way, but I'm finding that's the more direct route that I need to go. I need to get people's names and information on this piece of paper so that I can flip that around to let's talk and let's have a party kind of thing.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. What do you offer as your raffle?
Whatever's at the dollar store. So that little pumpkin thing, he was there. I got some candy in there. I got leftover candy from it's probably stale at this point. Leftover candy from conference. Pair of socks, usually a headband. I did put, because I had extra of those pharmacy koozies, that's in there. This little bead thing that says fall. There's a pistachio hand cream in there. There's a face mask in there. Little things. Yeah, I think that's all that's in there. Oh, there's a kitchen towel in there. Oh, and there's those ink pens. You know those ink pens that you get what has like the diamond on top? Did I give you guys one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's people, they love those ink pens. I have those ink pens sitting there for them to fill out the raffle ticket. And they're like, how much is this? It's $1 at the dollar store.
Oh.
It's not for sale as my ink pen.
Now, do you actually give your raffle basket out?
I do.
Do you do it at the time, or do you send it to them?
I send it to them because typically they're local. So I'm like, oh, I'll just drop it off at your house. But now the people who don't win now, I do call them up and say, hey, or I'd send them a text message, say, unfortunately, you weren't my winner, but it was really nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. Now with Color Street, I would like send them some of my color play strips. And so I really kind of struggle. I want to send them as, I'm sorry you didn't win the raffle prize, but here's something. But I don't really know what I can send that I can put into an envelope and it not cost me a lot of postage.
What about coffee? Coffee or recharge?
Coffee, tea.
Well,
Recharge.
I just got some of that tea, those tea packets. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I can put those in there.
Yeah, there's
sheet
coffee,
mask.
tea, and recharge. And
However,
yeah,
put them in a plastic bag, because sometimes I send those like as prizes in my VIP group, and sometimes they explode in the
Oh no!
So
when it goes
I
through the roller.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Scary.
So I put them in
in
a little snack bag.
okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah, so I'm going to do that with the ones that my non-winners, so that I at least they have something, and I still look like I was grateful that they stopped by and that they gave me their information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
I always email everybody after my vendor events.
Yeah. I always try and do it the next day right away, because then you're still fresh in their mind too, right?
Right.
Sylvia, I want to see what Pat made you, because I was just telling Tom tonight that I'm going to need some like risers so I want to see what he made you.
Well, actually, for pharmacy, all he's done, he did make me stands for Color Street, but they're not working for pharmacy. But all he did was he cut pieces of wood to fit the tops of my pharmacy boxes, so they fit on there perfectly.
They're square,
And then
right?
I went to the dollar store and just got some of that like cupboard liner and just covered them so they look nicer than just a piece of wood. And that's all I use is I put a pharmacy box, I put my piece of wood on it. And then if I use a big box, I'll put a smaller one at the back with a piece of wood on it. I use my wooden crates and I put them, and then I lay them down and then stack on top of them. So yeah, that's all he's done for pharmacy is the wooden tops.
Okay.
I'd like to interrupt a moment to congratulate Michaela because her sister is showing up in the back office already. So congrats
All
on
right,
your
good
new
job.
team member.
Congratulations.
Woohoo!
Very cool.
Okay, we're done interrupting.
Well, I wanted to also, when we're done with the vendor event part, I wanted to talk about one more thing that'll take about 5 minutes, if that's okay with everyone. I know it's getting kind of late.
I'm done unless anybody has any other questions.
Nope.
Okay.
I think that covered it.
Yeah. Okay, so I just posted in Team Limitless and in Team Elevated the Cinderella Challenge. So if you're looking for sales at the last minute, okay, you're like, you want to be at 125, you can literally get to 125 starting at 0 by doing this this little challenge.
Cinderella challenge.
Yeah, it's called the
I love it.
Cinderella Challenge. So basically, you just pick 15 friends or 15 people or more. They have to be people you know, people that know you sell pharmacy. And I mean, it would be ideal if they've already had either communication with you, if they've purchased something, whatever. But the point is to create massive, what's that? Urgency. So it's all about urgency. So the biggest part about it is you just messaging them, and you're literally going to message all 15 people the exact same thing. You know, we don't normally do that, but like I said, this is a one-time shot. It's just a 24-hour thing, and you don't do it every month. This is just something you do when you are looking to push. You have a really big push that you're trying to get like within 24 hours. So you basically,
Yeah, I did it 4 times in 5 years. You don't do it a
Perfect.
lot, but 4
Exactly.
times in 5 years.
It's just like asking people for a favor or asking people to help you with your goal. You don't do that. That's a very rare occurrence. Like if you're trying to get to Mexico and you have $1,000 left and you got 2 days left, that is the only time to be asking somebody for a favor. We are here to give value and to give them favors, right? Okay, anyways. So you want to send a message. The message is the same exact thing for everybody. It's just, hey, Sarah, I'm in a contest tonight, but just until midnight. Okay, you're creating that urgency. Would you be willing to take a peek at my liquid matte lipstick? Super quick. Consider helping me by placing an $11 order. So note to self, you are giving them your discount with this one. That's it. If so, just holler and I'll grab you one. Okay, very simple. Now you can change out that product. If you know your people like Aloe Glow, you can give them a discount on Aloe Glow. Whatever it is, you can change that into whatever product you want. And then when she writes back, if she says yes, great, 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 I'll add you one, send her a picture of the colors, let her pick one. If you're doing the matte lipstick. And then tell her you'll get back with her in a couple hours or later tonight. So very simple. That's it. And you can do this any time of the month. It doesn't even have to be at the end of the month. It doesn't even have to be when you're urgent. You could do it the first day of the month to get done with your work. You know what I mean? Every few months, this could just be something you do. And if you have 30 people, you could do it, 2 different times in a month or in two different months. But my point is, you don't want to go at the same people all the time with an urgent message on what you need help with. So, but yeah, Cinderella challenge if you're really looking for something that needs to be that you wanna make sure you accomplish.
See, I follow up with people like that all the time, constantly. Yeah, I'm always in people's messages, especially if I see something I know they like.
You do what?
I message them and I'm like, hey, you know, this is on sale right now. Do you want me to get that for you? And
Oh, yeah, that's normal follow-up. This is saying by midnight, I'm on a challenge, and by midnight, it's over with. So this is a different thing. This is creating urgency for them, not just a normal follow-up call.
Okay, good to know.
in a sale right now.
Yay!
It's a lipstick, a lip liner, and L-carnitine.
Woohoo! All right, cool. So I think we're done. It's almost 9. It's 9:17, y'all. Anybody got anything else before we hop off?
Nope.
All right, good call. Thanks
Lots
for
of information.
Jennifer. Yeah, lots of info.
All right, good. Hopefully this saved to my or my iPad, and I will post it on our site.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thank
Have a good night,
you.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.